Hi there, Ronaldo here. In today's video, I'm going to discuss in terms of what happened after the FOMC meeting minutes. So we just finished a live trading, and I'm just going to update you guys in regards to the markets. As for those, if you don't know, today was FOMC federal funds rate where they increased the interest rates by 75 basis points or 0.75% from 1.75 to 2.5%. And then Powell did speak after that at 11:30. So he stated that there's going to be more increase of interest rates in the future to slow down inflation and heading back to around the 2% mark, very similar prior to the pandemic. So what happened basically through there, note that news definitely plays a very big role when it comes to trading. With news affects price, and then from there, based on supply and demand, institutions will be pushing the price to the upside or to the downside, depending on what the news is going to be. In this particular case, they were waiting for Powell in terms of what he has to say, and then they push it down to the downside and all the way to the upside. So if you just basically see here, this is what's prior to the news in terms of what Powell was stating. And then when there was a little bit more stability and more certainty and security in terms of what he was saying, then institution pushed the price to the upside. So I just be aware, just be careful that when you're trading, that you need to back up your analysis when it comes to analyzing your charts, and don't just do things in terms of patterns, because patterns are useless if you don't know the meaning behind it based on the mechanics of price action. And like I said, when it comes to price, news is the major, it's basically like the gas. And without fuel, without gas, without petrol, the car basically won't move. And in this particular case, news will fuel basically price that will create supply and demand. Okay, so of course, the dynamics of market conditions will actually change as news progresses. That's why it's very important to note what are the high impact news when it comes to when you're trading the marketplace. So in this particular case, S&P is up way beyond 2%. Now that there's more stability basically in the markets, the volatility index, of course, is currently down. So it's why yesterday, it looks very bullish, really good to see that the odds and probability that continuation of the volatility index will continue. Yet with news change the whole dynamics of that, and now basically it is now bearish, where it could potentially come back down around the 22.2 mark, and the S&P could potentially go beyond now that the trend line has been broken. Next is around 4100 to 4120 through there. But of course, mind you too, though, that with interest rates a little bit more, everything is all factored in as well. And I believe the dollar index also has more correction in order for it to happen. So currently back in the layer of demand, and we're just going to be aware of that. And if it chooses to break the demand level, then all the way back to 105, 104.50 is the major projection of the dollar index. Oil currently is now bullish, as per stated, still as of yesterday, after that higher low has been broken. Oil actually was a leading indicator, and the dollar index was neutral and positive earlier, while oil was already basically up. Likewise for copper. Copper was also very bullish, and likewise for gold. So everything's currently within the whole realm of the macro fundamental component. In terms of this analysis, we're actually really, really good. So where to from here? Well, I was bearish with the Aussie against the US dollar yesterday, closed the position when prior to actually the FOMC, because buyers were supporting it and it wasn't dropping at all. And so got out for that one and basically went long. Also basically went long with the euro against the US dollar during a live trading session. Got a good price at 101.20, 101.15 to 101.20, basically earlier through there. And note after what he stated, and this is where it came back down to 101, 7 and then boosted all the way up. If you can see through here, we're on the 5-minute time frame. If I go to 1-minute time frame, there it is. And then when Powell base started, and this is where it kept pushing to the upside through there. It was really nice to actually see. Currently now stabilizing itself at a supply level through there. Odds and probability from a correctional standpoint, continuation of price to head towards 103.60 is more than likely to happen. Okay, so I'm bullish with the majors against the US dollar. So I'm just going to show that very briefly. We were bullish as of yesterday. This week's module was actually about patterns and on how patterns are being operated behind the scenes. So this was really good too. Pound against the US dollar is up 136 points as of the closing yesterday. As a probability to head towards around that 123 is more than likely to happen. Kiwi also was very bearish earlier, and then it changed course after the FOMC meeting minutes after that. So anything with the major against the US dollar. The dollar CAD was also bullish, and then the report happened, and the Canadian dollar was stronger. Likewise for the dollar Swiss was also very bullish, and then basically come back down. Dollar yen, same. It was also very bullish at one point, and currently now on the negative. So the other question that I got yesterday was about Bitcoin. So what is now happening with Bitcoin? Well, correction within the 38.2 mark here was actually done all the way to 124,000, which was my last report. And then it basically corrected itself, created a hammer yesterday. So what was the plan? The plan was that if the dollar index is going to be bullish, this is going to head back all the way down below 20,000, reaching around the 19,800 mark. On the other hand, it didn't do that, of course. The dollar index was weaker, and hence now the Bitcoin basically is currently up 7.64 at this point in time of a percent. Odds and probability to create a new higher high to go beyond 24,280 is more than likely to happen, to touch this downtrend lines right here, where there's some level of confluence. If it breaks out through there, then easy. It can go back to 2634 all the way to this major supply area around 28,600. But major resistance within the trend line and a level of supplies around 24,400 mark. All right, and then based from there, they'll choose whether it will continue to go further up or down. So short term, still very bullish with Bitcoin against the US dollar through there. And yeah, that's my forecast for today after the FOMC report. Hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us at dsdtraders@gmail.com or contact us at dsdtrader.com. And if you like this type of videos, make sure to subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care and happy trading. Bye now.